Today from the heart of the heartland, autumn colors caressing the Iowa countryside, and the Hawkeyes of the University of Iowa hosting the Michigan Wolverines. Kinnick Stadium, Iowa City, it is a postcard type of day. Not a cloud to be seen, the sky as blue as corn silk could possibly make it. And the University of Michigan Wolverines, an old foe, wearing the road uniforms, getting ready to come into Kinnick Stadium. It is sold out again. It's been like that ever since Hayden Fry arrived at the University of Iowa 11 seasons ago. Only one time have his teams played here with less than a sellout crowd. Now the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan with a record of 4-1 overall, 2-0 in the conference. Bo Schembechler in his 21st season, and he's doing very well, thank you. He's won 188 ball games at the University of Michigan. And now here come the Hawkeyes, assembling at the entrance at the other end of the stadium, and the roar for them. Iowa 3-2, Coach Hayden Fry, 11th season, as we said. He has won 80 games here at the University of Iowa during those years. Now, the Big Ten Conference standings, as you well know, could get a little shaking before supper time because there are some other games being played around the conference that'll impact those three people sitting on top. And certainly the Michigan Wolverines are concerned with their position here against the University of Iowa because Bob Griese, coming here since Hayden Fry's been here, it's been a testing adventure. It's a hard place to win.
Well, it's one of those old college snake pits, as you would like to call it. You know, 56 straight sellouts. Michigan has not done too well here in the last few years. In fact, winning only, has not won in the last 3 trips, winning only 4 of the last 6 times they've played here. It's been decided by 3 points or less. So it's a very tough place to play. The fans are very close to the field. It can get very noisy.
Bo Schembechler, we're told, has made a decision, however, to go back to the veteran, go to experience at quarterback, and start Michael Taylor today ahead of young Elvis Gerbach.
Well, I think that's a smart move on Bo's part because he's got his 5th-year senior. This kid led the Big Ten in passing efficiency last year. Was injured in the first ball game. It's a tough place to play. Put your 5th-year senior in there and let him do his work.
The series record between these two coaches tells you more than the overall series record between the two schools. Because since Bo and Hayden have been squaring off against each other, you can see it's been very close.
I'm Jack Root, and we're just outside the stadium, and it couldn't be a greater day for Iowa's 100th homecoming. These people here have been tailgating all morning, and they've got here at 5:30 this morning to secure this spot. But the game's about ready to get underway, so we're going inside.
My gosh, if you've been tailgating since 5:30 this morning, you'd be bow-legged and cross-eyed for noon, wouldn't you? Whew. J.D. Carlson will kick it off for Michigan. Mike Saunders, 32. Dana Hughes, number 3. Deep to receive it for the Black Shirts of Iowa. The kick hangs high at the 5. It is Hughes. 25, he finds a crack and gets to the 30 and almost pops out of the crowd. So that's a pretty good return by Dana Hughes. And the Iowa Hawkeyes will come out. You never know about Hayden Fry, whether he will go on the first snap of the ball to one of the gimmick plays, go for some trickery, or whether he'll sit for a while and wait and see how things go. Matt Rogers will come on, 6'4", 205, a sophomore from Walpole, Massachusetts. How in the world did he get out here? Well, it's because his daddy was an MVP basketball player here at the University of Iowa before he became the head coach of the Boston Celtics. On first down, Rogers turns and hands to Richard Bass, a senior from Omaha, and certainly no gimmickry in that particular play as he just runs to the right side and picks up about 3. Bass and Bell starting the backfield. Bell's quite a story. Got a lot of yards last week. He weighs 255 pounds. Hughes and Peter Marciano, the wideouts. Up front, Palmer, Faxley, Anderson, Devlin, Davis, and Hawthorne. Not exactly household names outside of the state of Iowa, but a blending group that's getting better every week along the offensive front. Call it second down and 6. Run it again, go to big Nick Bell this time, and Bell is cut down a couple of yards short of the line of scrimmage. 6'3", 255 junior, Las Vegas, Nevada. The down people up front for Michigan's defense are White, Peter, and Hutchinson. The backers are Marshall, Milligan, Anderson, and Grant. J.J. Abrams. J.J. Grant not here this week. Hurt last week in the Michigan State game. Secondary is intact. Key, Welburn, Murray, and Todd Flake. The ball rests at the 38-yard line. It is 3rd down and 2 for the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. Matt Rogers straight back and no pressure. Throws underneath. Pass caught by Bell. Bell is a running back at 255 pounds, we told you, but he is also a very good pass receiver.
He's an outstanding receiver. In fact, last year against the University of Iowa, he caught 13 passes, and that's an Iowa school record. Against Indiana, I mean, for Iowa. You know, it's unusual, Keith, that a man that big, as you mentioned, 6'3", 255, can catch the ball as well as he does.
Well, Bill Inyart, Earthquake, played out at Oregon State, weighed about 250, 260, and set the record for 61 carries in the game. He's a pretty good receiver, too, and there's a big hole found on a crossbuck back over the left side with a little delay pattern for the Hawkeyes, and it's good to the Michigan side of the field at the 49, and again, it's Bell. Now, Bell is also blessed with uncommon quickness for a man his size coming out of the tailback position. And Hayden Fry says he's relatively young yet. Though he is listed as a junior, he is still learning the game. Well, if he gets a whole lot better, it'll be terrifying. Here's Rogers back, throws underneath again. The pass is caught again by Bell, eludes 1, 2 tacklers. Takes the football down inside the 35, gives Iowa a first down at the Michigan 33 before Lance Dutton can make the tackle.
The reason Bell is such a threat on the right side, number 43, he's just going to slide out of the backfield and catch the ball on the little hook. Now is when he's so dangerous. 255 pounds, he's past the big men, the defensive line, and he's shifty enough to make linebackers and defensive backs miss, or he's strong enough, if he has to run right over him. Last week against Wisconsin, ran for 217 yards.
Back goes Matt Rogers to throw on first down. Again, he sets up a screen to the right side, goes to Bass this time, and Bass reaches the 25-yard line before he is brought down by Bobby Abrams, number 24. Matt Rogers talking to him yesterday about a lot of things, including any influence that his dad might have had on him coming to Iowa and what advice he might get from a coaching dad.
He's not that, smart as far as football goes, but, he's a coach, and he gives me general advice on, the winning attitude and pressures and dealing with different things, and, that's great advice. We'll take it.
Good looking young, isn't he?
Sure.
2nd down and 2 to go to the big man Bell. First down Iowa inside the Michigan 20 at the 19. Eric Anderson finally wrestled him down. And there's a lot of head shaking going on the Michigan side right now. Because Iowa has come out, thrown short passes, yes, but mainly they've just been ramming it right at him.
Schembechler is not used to being run against. His defense leads the Big Ten in rushing defense, and Iowa has run the ball, and as you mentioned, thrown the short pass very well in this first drive.
Alex Marshall, linebacker number 59, shaken up for the University of Michigan. They need him today, and so we've got a timeout right now in behalf of Alex Marshall. Still working on him, trying to figure out. It looks like it could be a stinger, where you have a little pinched nerve or something. Hopefully it'll be on to that, and he can come back. There's the Michigan defense, but I'll tell you, this possession has been marching right along. You can see there are 7 plays. They picked up 51 yards using 3.5 minutes, and they're in scoring position now. First down at the Michigan 19. Brian Townsend into the ball game, replacing Alex Marshall at the outside backing position. Rogers hands the ball off, and this time the Michigan defense rises up. Trip Welburn, the strong safety, stepped up into the breach. And they roll Bell backwards that time. A loss on the play back to the 23. That's a 4-yard loss. We saw Welburn last week getting his helmet into the pile a lot. And it Looks like we might see more of that today. He plays the strong safety.
This is the area where Michigan likes to blitz. In fact, that time, strong safety Welborn was on a blitz.
Pass, Rogers, which one? Pass is caught at the 15-yard line and goes out of bounds at that point, killing the clock at 10 and a half minutes to go. It's Peter Marciano. He's only 5'9", 170. Yes, he is the nephew of Rocky Marciano, the late champion out of Brockton, Mass. Kind of interesting, too, that McMurtry, Greg McMurtry, playing for the Michigan Wolverines, is also from Brockton, Mass.
Well, they went to school together. In fact, Marciano was a year ahead of him, and Marciano says to McMurtry that back then we had a pretty good team, and McMurtry was a fullback. He said he was a blocking fullback at that. He must have had a pretty good ball club.
It is third down now, and a 5. And Matt Rogers back to throw, getting a little heat from the backside, then knock it loose, ball rolling around. And do they call it a fumble? Yes, they do. Brian Townsend picks up the ball. Rogers is out arguing that it's an incomplete forward pass. I was trying to throw the ball, but the referee was standing there looking right at him, and Jerry Hendrickson just shook his head and said, fumble. Mike Evans knocked it loose.
You can't advance a fumble in college football. Take another look as we look at from the end zone. Just play action to Bell. Nobody was open on the play. Downfield, as I was looking downfield, the coverage, he pulled the ball back. He was not going to throw it. And as the ball was knocked loose, and it's a big turnover for Michigan.
So the Wolverines now make a break for themselves, give it to Tony Bowles, and the Iowa defense, red hot over it. Merton Hanks comes storming up from a cornerback and brings down Tony Bowles. At quarterback, it is Michael Taylor getting the start today. Michael Taylor, the 6-foot, fifth-year senior from Lincoln Heights, Ohio. The running backs are Leroy Horde at fullback and Tony Bowles at tailback. The wideouts are Callaway and McMurtry. The offensive front, Doring, Dingman, Everett, Elliott, and Strepanak. And we go inside 10 minutes to go. Second play coming up for Michigan. Loss of 3 yards on the 4 yards on the play. Second down and 14. Howard is in at wideout, in motion. Ball is handed off to the tailback Bowles, and Tony runs it up the middle this time and takes it back to about the 35. As Bob mentioned earlier, that the man who started the quarterback position at the beginning of the season, Michael Taylor, banged up in the opening game, but coming in here to what is generally regarded as one of the snake pits, old conference foe, University of Iowa. They put Michael Taylor in to weather the storm. Horde is out. Legette is in. The block for Michigan. Taylor's first pass of the day. Good to McMurtry. It's up at the 46th and a first down for the Wolverines. The defensive alignment for the University of Iowa will go like this. Lou, Rulin, Keppel, Johnson, Dumont. Down, guys.
Lou's a true freshman.
Yeah, he is. Quast is a 4-year starter. And the secondary is Wright, Polly, Wise, and Hanks. First down for the Wolverines. No score on homecoming day at the University of Iowa. Bowles found the hole on the left side and got about 8 yards, maybe 9. Now let's check in with Jackaroo.
Well, Keith, good news on the condition of Alex Marshall. It's a pinched nerve. They've added some ice to the left side of his neck, and they say that he will be available to play more if needed.
Dr. Jackson, you called that one correctly.
They hurt them like some tickets for a while.
The deep burn.
Second down and 2 for Michigan. Now they're on the Iowa side of the field for the first time today. Give it off to Legette, the big freshman from Colorado Springs, and he's got a first down. Alan Jefferson did not make the trip today for the University of Michigan, and Jared Bunch is still home trying to get over an injury from earlier in the season.
Legette, a true freshman, was forced into backup duty when Horde was injured, and when Bunch was injured in the earlier in the year, and Bo is thin on running backs at this point.
Michael Taylor on first down from the 42. Keeps it. Second pass. It's good. It's Callaway. And Griese has got a first down for Michigan at the 30-yard line. Brad Quast came in to get a pretty good lick on Taylor.
Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with Michael Taylor. There was some talk early in the year that he had a sore shoulder. He did have a sore shoulder coming out of spring training and training camp coming into the season. Then he got the rib injury in the Notre Dame game, and he has had 4 games off. He's been ready to play the last 2, he says. But I haven't seen anything wrong with his throwing arm in the last 2 balls, both completions.
And he threw that one under effective pressure. Tony Bowles, a couple of yards. Miami is not playing today. Nebraska and Oklahoma State and Colorado. Colorado now having to play without the enemy. In the 4th quarter now, it is Alabama 17 up on Tennessee, with Texas leading Arkansas in what could be a major upset. Important game of the Big Ten, Illinois, Michigan State. It's second down and 7. Ball on the Iowa 27 for Michigan. The fullback, Legette, maybe a yard, not much more. Keppel, the middle guard, and Blues, the defensive end, combining for the tackle. They're playing on grass in Iowa City these days. Hayden Fry took the rug out and planted grass. And it's very well conditioned. It's prescription turf.
Prescription athletic turf.
And it was developed over at Purdue.
I think it fits his team more. It's not as quick a surface. Hayden's ball club, not real quick, and he really has not had fast ball clubs in the past.
It's 3rd and 6 for the Wolverines. And Michael Taylor back, gets some heat. Breaks out of there, is going to pick up his first down. Up the middle, he goes to the 10-yard line. You kind of hold your breath, you know, when you see your quarterback put his head down and dive for it that way, but he simply ignored the converging defensive backs and went for it.
Well, this is the thing that Taylor in the lineup gives the University of Michigan. As Keppel gets good pressure on him, he just flushes out of the pocket and gains a first down inside the 10-yard line. Watch Quast, number 35. He's covering the tight end, Walker. He's got him covered very well, but then Walker turns into a blocker when Taylor takes off running.
Taylor keeps it and goes down. A loss on the play from the 10 back to about the 12. As the Hawkeyes fought their way through the traffic. 57 was the first man in. That's Big Matt Rulin, a junior from Hilbert, Wisconsin. And Quast was in to get a piece of the action as well.
You mentioned Quast being a 4-time starter. He was all Big Ten inside linebacker last year, and the Big Ten is blessed with several very good linebackers this year and last.
Call it the 11-yard line, actually, because the ball is marked inside the 12, and it's the 11th play in this possession for Michigan. It's first of the game. Fumble, the ball is loose and recovered by Iowa. Brian Weiss covered it.
I think it was Mel Foster, the other inside linebacker.
So they have exchanged turnovers in the first quarter.
Number 66, let's watch him as he plays off the block of Dinkman. Gets his head and shoulders right in there, knocks the ball loose. Big turnover, and Wise is there for the recovery.
So both teams squander scoring opportunities. The opening possession, 10 plays, fumbled the ball away, and scoring opportunity gone there. Michigan responds with the recovery and goes 11 plays down to the Iowa 10. They fumble away. We've got 4:42 to go in the first quarter. Iowa Hawkeyes and the Michigan Wolverines are scoreless. The Hawkeyes own the football, first down at their own 13-yard line. And Matt Rogers, son of Jimmy, coach of the Boston Celtics, in at quarterback for his second possession. He was impressive in the first one. He went to the short pass, didn't force anything, but he was victimized by Mike Evans on a blindside rush, knocking the ball loose with the Iowa turnover. Big Bell has the ball, and I call him that because he weighs 255 pounds. Once we get that well established, then we won't have to fuss with it the rest of the day. But it is unique to see a tailback that size because he weighs 35 pounds more than his fullback.
And he's 7 inches taller. You see the two of them stand next to each other. You think their roles are reversed, that he should be the fullback, but that's not the case.
Rogers, a deep drop, lets it go down the middle. It is picked off, and picked off by Veda Murray. Who else? He's the man in the secondary for the Michigan Wolverines, the free safety or center fielder. There he tried to force one. The pass intended for Mike Saunders, and it may cost him.
The double zone too deep. He's going to try to hit the receiver coming from the right side, and Murray comes from the left. To play a too deep zone, you have to have outstanding quickness and speed with your two safeties, and Murray and Welburn certainly have it.
And so here's Michigan now with the ball marked just inside the Iowa 40. They've been down there to the 10, knocking on the door, fumbled it away. Michael Taylor turns and hands the ball to Tony Bowles, and he's looking for a crack. And will pick up about 3 before Melvin Foster brings him down. Now let's join Roger Twibble in New York.
Keith, Michigan State leading 10-7. Spartans at their own 35-yard line with 1:35 to play, trying to run out the clock, and Highland Hickson fumbles, recovered by Quentin Parker, and then Jeff George hit Mike Bellamy with a 9-yard touchdown pass. Illinois 14-10, and Southern Cal leads Notre Dame. Back to you, Keith.
36-yard line, second down, and about 6. A little flip. Michael Taylor getting some heat from Jeff Keppel. Kind of flipped the ball, trying to get it ahead to Legette, and he couldn't do it. But big old Jeff was all over him, 270-pound senior.
The 5th-year senior, and he really fights his way through. In fact, it's like wrestling in there. He was a 2-time state wrestling champion in high school. He and his other 2 comrades on the defensive line, Rulin and Johnson, call themselves the 3 Musketeers. They say they look out after each other, hang around together, and he has played an outstanding game so far.
Third down and 6. Taylor's pass thrown down the middle. Pass is good for a first down. The catch is made inside the 27 by Chris Callaway, the junior from Chicago, and Alabama has defeated Tennessee 47-30. That was a battle of unbeatens in the Southeastern Conference, and now Alabama will take a step toward the Sugar Bowl, a very positive step. Game that'll be seen here on ABC Sports New Year's night from New Orleans.
Big win for Bill Curry.
Oh, boy. That'll shut up some folks, won't it?
Yep.
Call it the 27-yard line, and a first down for Michigan on the Iowa side of the field. Hawks showing a 4-down front now, and a whistle before the snap. Referee is Jerry Hendrickson.
Well, obviously it wasn't a delay of game. Maybe it was a delay of game and the clock wasn't working. Or it could have been some movement in the offensive and defensive line.
Going to pick it up.
the 25-second clock. Seems to be working now.
Yep.
It may not have been working properly when Michigan came up to the line of scrimmage.
They picked up the flag. Anyway, despite the little hooting, it'll be first down at the 27 for Michigan. Taylor, little rollout, little pump, set up a screen. Legette, two blockers in front of it. Big fullback pounds his way to the 15-yard line, and that's a first down for the Wolverines. Eddie Polly brought him down. Here's Jackaroo.
Keith Michael Taylor, the Michigan quarterback, is using some extra protection, the normal shoulder pads, but in lieu of a flak jacket to protect his injured back, he's got this Velcro attached rib protector that goes all the way around his back and hopefully will keep him in the game today.
You look good, Jack.
Race car, you know, you take a guy out of a race car and put him in a football suit, and I don't know that he looks comfortable.
Yeah, I've ridden to the airport with him a couple times. I think we all needed some of those things.
Horde is back in the game now, number 33. He's at the tailback position. Leroy has the ball. The Iowa Hawkeyes have him right at the line of scrimmage. Matt Rulon led the defensive charge. That down bunch, those three guys up front are tough, aren't they?
Yes, they are. They're a good crew.
Rulon is 275. Keppel is 270. Jim Johnson is 270. His two juniors. Keppel is the senior. Tony Bowles out of the game right now, dinged up a little bit. Now Horde, the lone remaining back, as Michigan spreads the field. Two wides to the top, one to the right. Blindside pressure. Taylor takes off, finds the hole, touchdown. And a penalty flag. Got a flag against Michigan. I think. Yep. No touchdown.
Take a look at the center, number 51, Everett. See what he does before snap. He moved a little bit. He almost stood up. It was almost like he was standing up before he snapped the ball. And that was the illegal procedure. That's Steve Everett. Second year, well, it's actually as a redshirt freshman, second year at Michigan, first-time starter. He's been doing an outstanding job all this year.
You have to really be watching to see that.
Yeah, that's what the umpire's right there looking at him.
Yeah, he is. That's Howard in motion. Ball comes back to the 20. Second down for the Wolverines. Taylor getting some heat now. Gets his pass away, and it is incomplete. And it was effectively thrown away. Preserving the possible opportunity for J.D. Carlson as they come up to third down. If they can't effectively produce points out of that, then I'm sure we'll see the place kicker. And we're down into the final seconds of the first quarter. Only 44 seconds remaining in the first period. Both teams with long drives. Iowa already with 2 turnovers. The second turnover may cost them some points. Michael Taylor now doesn't have what he wants, doesn't have the people nor the play, and spends a timeout with 44 seconds to go in the first quarter. Hayden Fry's 11th season at the University of Iowa. He certainly turned things around. He won more games in 11 seasons than the Hawkeyes had won in the previous 21. It'll be third down for the University of Michigan. 15 from the Iowa 20. 44 seconds to go. First quarter of play. Crowd very close to the field here. Make a lot of noise. Michael Taylor back. Good protection. Down the middle. Touchdown, McMurtry. Great throw and a tough catch by McMurtry.
Bo had him to the sideline to tell him what he wanted. McMurtry is here. It's just going to be a simple post pattern. The man in the middle is going to move a little bit to his right as the other receivers come down to the wide side of the field. Taylor does a nice job, and when he gets back, looking to his left, pulls the man in the center of the field over and barely gets the ball into McMurtry before the safety gets there.
I'm not even sure Greg had time to close his fingers before the safety arrived.
Well, it was a good throw, and if anybody had any questions about Michael Taylor's arms, I think his arm, they've been answered now.
J.D. Carlson for the extra point. The snap was bad. He was off to the right side. Ken Solomon had to reach for it, and by the time he got it down, it was too late. He missed it. Bo, pacing around, had some words with some folks when they came off the field, but it's a 6-0 Michigan lead, and here's the way the touchdown looks from this angle.
Schembechler was happy with the results, but I'm sure that Walker, who he was talking to, may have ran the wrong route, and thereby allowing the safety to get close to McMurtry on the touchdown.
The extra point was missed. The snap wasn't as bad as we thought once we looked at it from the end zone. But apparently there was just enough wrong with everything, causing J.D. Carlson to pull it and miss it.
Solomon is the holder, and he had to catch the ball. I don't think he got it down on the spot. Sometimes when it's a bad snap, it kind of throws the timing off of the kicker.
J.D. will kick it off now. And he gets some air under it, knocks it down to the 4 where Mike Saunders has it. Ooh, he takes a lick short of the 20. Goes down hard at the 18-yard line. Chicago Bears, who've wobbled a bit lately. Cleveland Browns have wobbled some, too. They'll get together 9 o'clock Eastern time next Monday night here on ABC Sports. Try to get their wheels turning, back on track.
I always enjoy watching the game in that Cleveland Stadium. I'm glad I'm sitting at home watching it, because playing it was pretty cool at times, especially for a night game. That wind coming off the lake. Oh, boy.
November, December. Ball is just outside the 18-yard line for the Hawkeyes. Matt Rogers turns, gives to Nick Bell. Bell will come to the 20, and that'll do it. Mike Peter, the middle guard, wrote him down.
Michigan defense likes to slant a lot. They very seldom will give you the same look twice, and that's why they're so tough to run against.
Iowa mixing the short pass with its run, in considering the pass versus the run now. That was good for a couple of yards. They've run 8 times. They picked up 2 yards net. They've thrown the ball 5 times and gained 40 yards. And the first quarter is done, so after 1, it is 6-0 Michigan. Look of autumn around Iowa City. The old oaks and a burgundy look about them. There's the score in the ball game. And the Iowa Hawkeyes come up to the 20 now for a first down and go to a split back double wide top of the picture. Little different set here. Matt Rogers quickly to the outside. The pass is complete to Peter Marciano. And they'll give him not quite a first down. They've marked him just short of the 30.
Well, they really thought he got past that yard marker.
Yeah, now they move him.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's won 2 in a row. Look at that.
You know, we were talking about Hayden Fry being the innovator, surprises and whatever. Really hasn't seen much of it. He may have thrown in a few plays that we haven't seen before. Michigan may not have seen them, but nothing real tricky as yet.
Rogers going to put it up. Better hurry. A pass is thrown away. Pass is caught. He was in the grasp of a defender, Brian Townsend, but still upright. And Townsend delivers the ball for a complete. Rogers delivers the ball to Bass for a completion. Nothing particular about it, except it averted a big loss. was no gain on
Well,
the
if it were in the NFL, it would have been a grasp and control sack for Townsend, who's in there in place of Alex Marshall, who is out with a little zinger, a little pinched nerve in his neck. Should be back later on.
Ball is at the 29, and it is second down. Second quarter of play, Michigan leading 6-0. Rogers had a lot of time, couldn't find anybody, and then you ran out of time, and this time Brian Townsend got his arms wrapped around him and took him down for a fall.
Look at the first quarter stats. The turnovers are what keyed the first quarter, 3 in the first quarter. The second Iowa turnover, the interception by Rogers, was the motivation for Michigan to take the ball in good field position and go in for the score.
You were talking about wrestling a while ago, Bob. In the state of Iowa, they understand the word and the sport.
Oh, yeah. You know, there are a lot of defensive linemen, both on both of these teams that were very good wrestlers in high school.
Dan Gable had his wrestling team working out this morning before the game. Homecoming weekend, I imagine he had a lot of folks watching. Rogers passes away and is thrown into the crowd, incomplete. Intended for Mike Saunders, and Rogers had some big people and wearing white shirts looking him right in the eye.
Yeah, and there was nobody open downfield, so he did the right thing in just throwing it out of bounds. What Michigan has done by getting ahead early in this ball game, in effect, is taking some of this crowd out of the game. We talked about this being a snake pit, a tough place to win, and the crowd can be very involved if they're ahead.
Jim Hysack is in to punt. Low line drive. Going to be returned by Trip Welburn. And he comes back to the Iowa side of the field and down at the Hawkeye 42. 36-yard punt and a 10-yard return with 12:45 to go in the first half of play. The Wolverines leading by a touchdown. 7. And at that time, the state government moved to Des Moines, but the building remained, now serves as a museum for the university and for the state. And when you get lost, all you have to do is look for the dome. It helps, I know. Pass. McMurtry going to let it go. The wide out to the corner of the end zone, and it is intercepted by Iowa. It was too slow development. Burton Hanks comes down with it. Too slow developing because Callaway initially had full stride on defenders, but by the time McMurtry got the ball in his hand and let it go, it was over.
Well, McMurtry was an outstanding baseball player in high school. You see Hanks coming off the field with his second interception of the year. Should not have thrown that ball. McMurtry, a baseball player, an outstanding center fielder, could have signed a baseball contract, 6 figures coming out of high school. And it's interesting that the first gimmick we're talking about, the big surprises, comes from both sides of the field.
Yeah.
A reverse pass.
Well, if they'd been a little quicker with it, it'd work. Took too long. And so the Hawkeyes come back at their 20, first down. Matt Rogers, no pressure. Waits a long time and finally throws it down the middle, and they're going to call it good. And that's a pretty good pickup. That's 18 yards out to the 38-yard line. And it's caught by Marciano, who went right down on his tummy and scooped it up.
Well, he can catch those low ones. Marciano is just 5'9". I was in the Iowa training room yesterday and had a chance to chat with him a little bit. Wanted to be sure that he was excited about being on TV today. He says his friends back in the Boston area don't really believe that he's getting to play out here. Nice catch.
There's a little pitch back to big Nick Bell. And he's up to the 41, where Eric Anderson takes his feet from under him. Hayden Fry, in conversation yesterday, I asked him what he had done in rebuilding the Hawkeye football program. This is what he said.
I think it's really a combination of selling everyone that we could win, that we had the necessary things in order to win here. A great academic institution, a little country town with a beautiful campus, an opportunity to play professional type football, wide open type of offense, and we've kind of sold the sizzle rather than the steak.
And it's worked. Eric Anderson brings down Matt Rogers. I don't know. I think he bobbled the ball, a broken play, and went ahead. It had the look of a quarterback draw. But I think it was just a look and not a plan.
Well, you're right. I think the play was shot, and he did the smartest thing, just went north with it and gained some yards, and it's 3rd and short. There's your tight end. Iowa, one of the few teams in the country that stands their tight end up on the line of scrimmage.
They've had a great one here for a long time, and Marv Cook.
The Hayden Fry innovation.
Rogers back on 3rd down and 3, goes underneath with it, and maybe, depends on the mark. That's a tight end making the catch, Michael Titley, a junior out of Brooklyn, New York. They may measure here.
Standing up, a tight end, number 84, Titley, as you mentioned. It's good for passing, not so good for running. Of course, I've talked to Hayden about this, and he feels like they can block from that position, standing up just as well as they can get a release. But, drive blocking, they even do it on the goal line. Something that Hayden has done with his tight ends for a long time.
It is a 1st down. And Rogers now is 8 out of 10, 72 yards, and 1 interception. This is Bell. Just booming through there for a pickup of about 8 yards. Roger Twyville will be with us at halftime, and we'll have a special report from Al Michaels, Candlestick Park, regarding the status of things in San Francisco. And obviously, from Al's point of view, that includes the World Series, which for the moment is scheduled to resume on Tuesday and Wednesday and possibly Thursday at Candlestick Park, and will be seen here on ABC Sports. 2nd down and 2. Here goes Bell. Fumbles the ball. Michigan's got it. Batum Murray covered it. That's Townsend involved in the play, I think. 45. Lost the ball when he came down.
Watch the block here by Bass on 37, Anderson. Right there, good read by Bell. Now you just have to hold on to the ball. He's big, as we mentioned, 6'3", and you've got to put the ball. He gets hit from behind. 3 fumbles in 4 possessions for the University of Iowa.
Yeah, that's Bobby Abrams that knocked it loose, and that is the 5th turnover in the game. All right, another turnover by Iowa gives Michigan the ball. Hawkeyes giving up an opportunity one more time with a mistake. Tony Bowles is back in for Michigan at tailback after being dinged early in the ball game. From the 23, Tony has the ball, looking for some daylight, and finds a little as he gets up to the 30-yard line. Nine and a half minutes to go in the first half. Jason Dumont made the tackle for Iowa.
Michigan is going to win this game. They want to be out in front, like I said, to take the crowd out. If Iowa wants to win it, they cannot turn the ball over continually. Last week against Wisconsin, they had the 5 turnovers and barely got out of there with a win.
Over 500 yards.
131-24, and it was right to the end.
Now this is Leroy Horde for a 1st down for the Wolverines up to the 36-yard line.
Melvin Foster, number 66, had 6 tackles. Take a look on the left side. He was blitzing, plays off the block of Everett, and slides along the line and makes the tackle. It's his 7th tackle of the ball game. He led Iowa coming into the ball game in tackles.
Melvin is a junior from Houston, Texas. And the Wolverines now with 1st down at their own 36. Michael Taylor starting at quarterback, handing the ball away to Tony Bowles. There was contact early on, but Bowles just stayed right in behind his blocker and kept wiggling around and finally wound up picking up about 4 yards. The plays are brought in by wideouts. Moshe Beckless using messengers. Number 40 is Derek Alexander. He's another freshman out of Detroit, and he's starting to show up more and more in game action. In fact, Mercury and Callaway are back in there right now. Second down and 6 as Taylor gives it to Bowles. Bowles rides for a couple. So they'll be looking at third down and short. Scores involving top 10 teams. USC has gone back to the lead over Notre Dame, 14-7. Kansas playing Colorado pretty well. Alabama beat Tennessee, and Texas upset Arkansas, which is a stunner in the Southwest Conference. The Big Ten today, you've got fourth quarter there. Wisconsin looking to win their first of the year, and that is much to the chagrin of our now 50-year-old director, Larry King.
Had a birthday. He did. Yes, he did. Happy birthdays this week.
Third down and a long two as Taylor comes down the line, breaks the tackle and gets the first down. So there's the running ability of Michael Taylor for the second time today, paying a dividend for the Michigan Wolverines.
Well, this is something that you don't have when Schembecker has Elvis Gerbach in the ballgame, and that is the option threat, the running threat of the quarterback. The thing that the option gives an offense, it kind of forces the defense to slow down a little bit, play it more vanilla, play it more pure. No blitzing, not a lot of line twist, and mostly zone coverage in the secondary, and you can do a lot when you know what the defense is going to do.
First down, midfield, Wolverine. Staying with the ground game. Bowles now searching his way well down the line, picks up 5 to the 45. And tonight, we invite you to spend Saturday night with ABC. New episodes of Mr. Belvedere and Living Dolls, Burt Reynolds, The Private Eye, V.L. Stryker on the ABC Saturday Mystery. So that's 3 good reasons to stay with ABC, all coming up tonight. Second and 5, it's Horde cutting back into the middle and a first down for Leroy as he crosses the 40, but nope, they're going to mark him back short of the 40. Mark him down at the 41. Brad Quast. Third and 1 coming up.
They got to look for the option here, like it in short yardage.
Out of the wishbone, first man Legette. Fullback, first down, Michigan at the Iowa 37-yard line. And we're now at 5 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first half. The ball's been going up and down the field fine.
Yes, it has. Just the turnovers.
Hasn't been getting in the end zone.
5 turnovers here in a quarter and a half of this ball game, and unfortunately for Hayden Fry, 3 of them have been on his side. Bowles got 2, but he came into the ball game in pretty good shape as far as a turnover edge. Iowa coming in was second last in the Big Ten.
First down from the 37. Little delay there as Taylor couldn't find anybody. Jukes one, gets away from another. Look out. Iowa man really crashed into that wall hard.
Well, that wall is very close.
I think it's Foster, too.
Yeah.
And Melvin's coming out all right.
Watch that fake here by Taylor as he just still has the ball.
That's pretty good.
But it didn't fool the safeties down there. Pauly and Wise both in good shape. Now look at the ability here, getting away from Dumont and then outrunning. I guess that's Keppel. He makes something positive out of nothing, and as you see Foster running him out of bounds. That wall is very close to the sideline.
All of that action produced 1 yard. Give it back to big Leroy Horde for a pickup of about 8 yards. I say big. He weighs 220. A junior out of New Orleans. Foster's going to come out of the ball game now after that collision with the bench and the wall and that long run. He gets a little bit of a breather. Rod Davis replaces him. Rod is a sophomore from Queens, New York. 260 linebacker. Whew. Foster has been busy. Melvin has 11 tackles before coming out of the game. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Michigan leading 6-0, threatening again on third down. Oh boy, they send Bowles at the middle, and Bowles runs into John Derby and stopped.
Derby is right here. He just came in for Foster. Watches, he's going to meet the ball carrier right over the top. Good charge by the defensive line. Keffel getting in there and some penetration allows Derby a free shot at the ball carrier. Defensive line doesn't allow any movement up front, and that allows Derby to get there and make the tackle.
What a try for three, 46-yarder. Longest in his career, 48. 8 out of 8 in field goals for J.D. Carlson, 9 of 9. He missed the extra point, but he drilled that one, and it's 9-0, Michigan lead. Iowa, the Hawkeyes ranked first in the national polls, trailed number 2 Michigan 10-9 on October 19. Rob Houtman, Iowa's all-time scoring leader. 29-yard field goal with 2 seconds left. Hawkeyes won at 12-10 and went on to the Rose Bowl. See, if you are creative, you get on the air. Halftime, what we have for you. Quite a dramatic story out there this morning, wasn't it? Finding Buck Helms alive in the rubble of 880. My goodness.
That's great.
Iowa fumbled at the Michigan 15. First possession. Second, they were intercepted. Third, they punted. Fourth possession, fumble at the Michigan 22. Now they get the ball back, trailing 9-0, 3:12 to play, first half. J.D. Carlson kicks it off. It's Hughes. Dana Hughes. Pretty good return. Penalty flags go down. Hit out of bounds. From tack 15 onto it.
Hughes with a nice return, outruns some of the Wolverines. I believe it's going to be 65 Simpson who's going to get there a little bit late and do a little extra damage out of bounds. Well, we couldn't see, but yeah, 65 Simpson.
Timeout. Iowa ball, their own 44.
Well, that's what we told you a while ago. Just been a half of the mistakes for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Alex Marshall is back in now for Michigan. So that pinched nerve problem is all right with Alex. He's back. And it's first down for the Hawkeyes. All resting at their own 44. Little touchdown about here would mean a lot to them. Richard Bass carries. And the fullback gets a little bit out of it. Tony Stewart, who was heralded as the starting tailback, in fact was the starting tailback at the beginning of the season, has not played today yet. It'll be second down and 6 now. The ball at the 48.
Stewart, you were talking about, had over 1,000 yards rushing last year, but had major knee surgery at the end of the year and is really not all the way back from that injury yet.
Rogers gets away from the pressure, dumps the pass off to Bass, and he gets a first down for Iowa. Matt Rogers got away from Mike Evans. And you got a penalty flag on the play, so hang on a second. They
either first down plus or not a first down. Holding. It's against Michigan. So it's first down plus. Veda Murray, the center fielder for the Michigan Wolverines, had this comment yesterday when talking to him about the position he plays so very well.
It's a relaxed position. You just sit back and you read the quarterback's eyes. It's not that hard a position compared to what some of the other guys are doing on the team where they're up front fighting a lot. I just sit back and just let things develop, and I just react to it.
He has an interception and a fumble recovery so far today.
He's reacted pretty well, hasn't he? He and Trip Welburn, two outstanding safeties. They really key that secondary, although all four of those players are excellent. Lloyd Carr, the defensive coordinator, does an outstanding job of calling the defenses, and the defensive backs disguise their coverages very well, and the front does a nice job of slanting.
Iowa refuses the holding penalty against Michigan, takes the play, gives them a first down at the Wolverine 44-yard line, and Matt Rogers back, goes for Bell. Bell dropped it. Welburn covering on the play, and I thought for a second Bell had enough of the ball to hold on, but in making his turn, it came out.
The pass was late. Bell was looking for it a little bit sooner. Rogers was looking downfield, trying to get the ball to his wide receiver, who was well covered.
Timeouts remaining now. Iowa has all three. We are at 2 minutes and 3 seconds to play. Michigan with 2. Hawkeyes ball. Wolverines 44. And Michigan leading 9-0. And Hayden Fry's wearing his white breeches again today. Been wearing white breeches for 20 years. Pass is thrown underneath. Not good for much. Gain is down to the 40. Pick up for 4 yards as the tight end makes the catch. And the strong safety, as he is assigned to do, Trip Welburn, makes the tackle. Strong safety means that safety goes where the tight end is.
Usually covers the tight end in man coverage, and that's what that was. Welburn, his first year at Michigan, was a wide receiver and was kind of alternating, and the defensive coaches said, hey, you can come over here and play right away. And he told us last night that he really enjoys strong safety.
He also said he's still a little receiver, and he likes to catch the ball returning kicks. That's a first down as Travis Watkins finally gets back into playing condition off a sprained foot. He figured to be, and when he's playing, is the leading receiver for these Iowa Hawkeyes, and he's come back now and just made his first catch in a while.
Well, he was the second leading receiver on the ball club. Hayden Fry had 2 other wide receivers coming back from last year, but they were both out of the ball game. One had knee surgery. One was academically ineligible. The other was injured, Falloon. But that's one of the problems for Iowa, lack of speed at the wide receiver position.
1:17 to go, and the Hawkeyes on first down. Bell carries it just across the 25 down to about the Michigan 24.
Once he found it, he carried it pretty well.
Yeah. It was hot. Iowa spends a timeout. They have 1 remaining. 1:05 to go in the first half. The Hawkeyes have a threat going. Tailgaters going and going all morning long. There's just an absolutely glorious day in the heart of the country. Temperature at least in the middle 60s, if not the high 60s. All right, the Hawkeyes on second down. The ball just inside the 25 of Michigan. Michigan leading 9-0. Rogers unloads it in a hurry. The pass is good to Danon Hughes, and Hughes is ruled out of bounds right about the 10-yard line, and it'll be a first down. It is nose of the ball. Looks like it is touching the 10. So they've got a chance now with 59 seconds. Been a first half of mistakes. It's been a year of mistakes for the Hawkeyes. They have 15 fumbles and 7 interceptions on the season.
Well, that's why they're near the bottom in the turnovers, the turnover margin in the league. They've given the ball away many more times than they've gotten it back.
This goes to Bell, the big man, and he's to the 5.
Incidentally, I was wrong on the timeouts remaining. They have 2 remaining, and they're going to spend one right here. Save the clock at 33 seconds. Bell was piled up, and a couple of offensive linemen were piled up. And Hayden is roaring. You know what he's hollering about? He wants somebody to call timeout because they wasted 10 seconds.
Well, the problem is the coaches do everything for these guys. You know, they tell them when to come to meetings, they call the plays for them, and they got to be able to think for themselves.
Well said.
And he will be able to do that, but he's just a sophomore. When he's a senior or junior and he can take control, he'll say, all right, I'm going to do this whether the coach wants me to or not, and knows it's right.
Yeah, but there are other guys out there. It doesn't have to be the quarterback.
True.
Next Saturday, here on ABC Sports, doubleheader for you. We'll start it up at Ann Arbor with the Indiana Hoosiers and the Michigan Wolverines. We'll get a chance to see Anthony Thompson, who is having a big season again. A great running back. And then we will have either Washington, UCLA, or Ohio State and Minnesota. Check your local listings for the second game of our doubleheader. We'll have Indiana, Michigan at noon next Saturday. I think I'm going to send Bo a bill. I feel like we're becoming the voice of the Michigan Wolverines. Why are we not participating in some of this?
Well, I don't think Bo would answer the bill. I don't think he'd even acknowledge it.
Second down from the 5, and it's second down and 5. They can, by a matter of a couple of inches, get a first down. Bell goes in motion. That reads something different. It's Rogers, the quarterback, spinning around, getting to the 4. And there's Hayden trying to get another timeout, stopping the clock at 25 seconds. Did you really think that was the play?
Yeah, it was, because Rogers, as soon as he faked the ball to Bell, put it away and started running. They must have seen something on the videotape during the week that made them think that play would work, but it certainly didn't. There was no back remaining in the backfield for him to toss to if it was an option. That's right.
Well, that's a pretty good sized briar patch he's trying to run through. You know, I mean, those folks are not easy in their white shirts. 25 seconds. The Hawkeyes just spent their last time out. In the fourth quarter, it's Indiana 21-18 over Minnesota. Roger Twyville will bring you up to date on all the scores here at halftime. And there have been some surprises today. I was frankly surprised Alabama whacked Tennessee, even though it was at Tuscaloosa. I thought it'd be a little closer ball game.
Tennessee had played well all year. You know, when you look at this ball game and what Hayden Fry is talking to Matt Rogers on the sideline about, I'm sure he's going to want to throw it in the end zone. Michigan has only given up one rushing touchdown all year.
Well, if he throws it on third down and makes it, fine. But if he doesn't make it and it's incomplete, then they have killed the clock with a chance to get 3.
Yeah, well, you've got to get some points. Lloyd Carr on the left, defensive coordinator.
3rd and 4.
Watch the tight ends crossing here.
Touchdown! Thomas Watkins. George Murphy. Blocked. Stuffed. Low kick. Wolverines. It was a Wolverine whip in the air, and it was knocked down before it really even got started. To Murray again?
Well, that's a big point block.
Beta Murray.
Murray blocked one last week. A big field goal attempt against Michigan State. Has an interception. Fumble recovery. Take a look in the middle of the screen. Number 27. It's Murray and Welburn, both safeties.
That thing never got started.
Big point block right there. Let's go back to for the touchdown. It's just a one-man pattern. Travis Watkins out here is just going to go into the end zone and break to the outside, as the tight end is going to come this way, but it's almost a one-man pattern. Defensive man jams him and just loses sight of him.
It's Lance Dutton.
Yeah.
Dutton. So the sophomore got caught looking the t'other way.
Dutton jams him. And this is a one-man pattern all the way. He says if he's not open, throw it out of bounds, and we'll kick the field goal.
So Rogers looking pretty good despite the interception. 13 out of 16, 115 yards, and now a touchdown. And it's a 9-6 ball game, and both teams have missed their extra points. Skillett will kick it off. Jeff Skillett. Bowles and Howard are the beat people for Michigan. There's Jeff Skillett. Jeff is a sophomore from Silvis, Illinois. Down the middle, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. It bounces off Howard, picked up by Tony Bowles, and Tony's still going. Out of bounds, across the 30 at the 32, and you've got 14 seconds remaining. Michigan has 2 timeouts. Big play, timeout. On one more play, timeout. Who knows?
I got to believe that Bowles going to play it kind of conservative here. If it was the other way around with Hayden, Hayden's the more the aggressive guy.
Let her fly, yeah. But one never knows. At 60, you get a little frolicsome sometimes when you're matching wits with the guy across the field.
Well, he already tried that reverse pass by McMurtry.
Yep. Now, going to run out the clock. Iowa can't stop it, so they will let it expire, and at halftime, it is Michigan 9, Iowa 6. Another dogfight.
Join Jackaroo.
Dogfight.
Join Jackaroo.
Keith, if you don't think Iowa Hawkeye fans take their football seriously, this is Orrin Alton. He hasn't missed a home game here in 64 years. Orrin, which is the best game that you've seen?
This one.
Do you think that they can pull it off?
Oh, there's been a number of them. I'd have to think a while before I would name one game.
Well, what do you think they're going to have to do to win this one, Orrin?
Score a touchdown.
Well, that's pretty obvious, folks. Let's go back upstairs.
Quit making mistakes. Skillett kicks it off for Iowa. Michigan now will have first possession of the second half. A return here by Desmond Howard, the freshman who can fly. Whoa, one man. I think if Skillett doesn't get him by the shoe tops, it's a see you later, but he got him. And so Michigan will start with the football up near midfield.
One of the big differences coming into this game between the two teams are on special teams. Michigan coming in as number 2 team in the Big Ten on kickoff returns, and in coverage, Iowa is last in the Big Ten, so it shows here 42 yards on this return.
And they go to work at their own 45-yard line, first down, with Michael Taylor, the quarterback. Ford and Bowles lined up behind him, and it's Tony Bowles. And Tony pops it pretty well. Runs it inside the Iowa 40 to the 39 before Merton Hanks can bring him down with some help from Eddie Polly. That's a big gain. That's the first down.
Basically, the Michigan offensive front, as you see Bowles excited. And I'm sure Schembechler told him in the second half, we got to come out and just run right at him, and that's what it did. Straight blocking by that big offensive front for Michigan.
I tell you, Bob, having that Dean Dingman back in there healthy makes a big difference in that offensive front, too, doesn't it?
For sure.
Bowles again, big hole left side. Oh, my goodness. I mean, it was an absolute flat pancake that time for Derek Walker against Larry Blue. He put Blue just flat of his back.
Walker, a fifth-year senior, and Blue, as we mentioned earlier, a true freshman. 3 men on that Michigan offensive front as you take a look at Blue. 3 men weigh over 290 pounds, so it's a big, strong, and very physical offensive line.
33-yard line. Second down and 4 for Michigan. It goes again, loses the football, but comes back to get it at the 36-yard line. Anthony Wright, a blitzing quarterback, stripped it loose, but Bowles got it back. Got a friendly bounce.
Wright was on a corner blitz that time and got in the backfield and made something happen. Look at the total yardage, exactly the same. The top of the screen, the total number of plays almost the same, 33-31. First downs are the same. Time of possession, game is almost even.
But a touchdown right here for Michigan is very, very big. Crowd getting into it. Michael Taylor back to pass on third down, throws underneath to Leroy Horde. Horde gets just enough help downfield, gets the first down at about the Iowa 26-yard line. Melvin Foster, one more tackle.
They had a corner blitz on. Look at the corner down here at the bottom. He's going to blitz inside. Horde's going to pass him up and just slip out here, and the ball is going to be thrown to him. Taylor's going to turn his back, looks away. That's Wright, number 10, who was just in there and caused the fumble. Taylor just gets rid of the ball to avoid a sack.
Bowles out. Michigan goes to 3 wides. On first down, Callaway in motion, and the lone back Horde running straight ahead in a penalty flag. Came from a linesman. Holding. Michigan. Gerbach.
Yeah,
Elvis Gerbach had been the starting quarterback. Taylor got hurt second half of the Notre Dame game. He came in, hit 10 passes in a row, and he was 4-0 as a starter.
Redshirt freshman understands that his job was the job of the quarterback was Taylor's. His job is to fill in when needed. He came in, won 4 games in a row, was leading the Big Ten with 6 touchdown passes. In fact, he was tied with Matt Rogers on the other side, and I think it was the right decision by Schembecker. Taylor has played well.
So now after the holding call, number 9's got to bring him up. On first and 20. Taylor going big. Down the middle, McMurtry. Intercepted. Court Hook. Intercepted. Number 42.
He probably shouldn't have thrown. Taylor, the safety, Hooks was in good position.
And so Iowa turns Michigan aside. Leads Iowa, 12:23 to go, third quarter. Iowa's just intercepted Michigan to take the ball at their own 20. Their first possession of the second half. Tony Stewart in the ball game for the first time, number 21. Matt Rogers will throw on first down. Gets away from the pressure for a moment and then goes down. The first man was Welborn, and Welborn spun him around, and Alex Marshall is hurt again. Marshall's second time being hurt in the ball game. First time it was a pinched nerve, and it may be the same thing. So there's a timeout on the field.
If you thought you had...
Here's Welborn, number 3, a strong safety. The linebackers are here. You normally look for them to blitz. They don't blitz, but Welborn does. This causes confusion in the offensive scheme. You always check the linebackers. They're the tight end. Palmer sees him coming late. Welborn gets in, mixes up all the blocking assignments, and causes a bad play.
Rogers back to throw. Gets some heat. Down the middle he goes. Got a man open. Tight end can't hold it. John Palmer. Oh, my goodness. Palmer was all the way out beyond the 45-yard line and could not hold on to the ball. And I mean, it was right on his hands.
Rogers did all he could do. Palmer just drops the ball.
9-6, the Michigan Wolverines leading in the ball game. A game that's been made close by turnovers. Both teams turning the ball over, turning it over, making mistakes. And it's a dogfight in Iowa City. As the Hawkeyes come up 3rd down and 12 now, the ball is resting on their own 18-yard line. Alex Marshall out of the game for the 2nd time with a nerve problem in his neck. Back goes young Matt Rogers to throw. Feet get a little nervous under the pressure sometimes for young Rogers. He takes a pretty good lick and goes down hard from Mike Evans. The pass intended for the tight end Titley is incomplete, and is caught by Titley rather, but far short of the 1st down. And that means they've got to kick the ball away. Hysack comes in for Iowa. His first punt today was 36 yards. Trip Weldon got a 10-yard return out of it because the ball was kicked low. And this is a low-line drive, but longer than the other. Weldon takes it back at the 30, gets 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then goes down up around the 36-yard line. 47-yard punt that time, and a 6-yard return at 11:09 to go in the 3rd quarter. Well, Nebraska's put Oklahoma State away. Alabama beating Tennessee. Texas, there's a big upset there. Texas beating Arkansas. Horns are starting to beat some people, though. They're playing very well. Beat Oklahoma. Now Texas. Illinois won a big ball game for them today. All right, Michael Taylor turns and hands the ball to Tony Bowles, and the penalty flag goes down as Bowles gets up to the 40-yard line. This possession starting for Michigan at their own 37.
51 White.
Holding against the Wolverines. Now they're starting to make mistakes. That's the 2nd holding call we've had in the last 3 minutes.
That was on the center, number 51, Steve Everett. Michigan came out the 2nd half and returned the opening kickoff past the 50-yard line, then threw the interception, and now have really lost the field advantage that they got coming out in the 2nd half.
4 flags on the Wolverines, 40 yards. The umpire today is Ed Hassel, head linesman Tom Ransom, line judge Ron Bennington, field judge Bob Colburn, side judge is Henry Armstead, and back judge is Tom Herbert. Jackaroo, what about Alex Marshall? Same
Well,
thing?
Keith, we checked with Gerald O'Connor, the team physician for Michigan, and he said it is. It's a pinched nerve, and this time they're going to keep him out, at least for several sets of plays, to see if he gets a little better feeling from it.
Okay. Penalty backs him up. 1st down and 20 for Michigan now. Back on their own 27. Little delay. Tony Bowles up the middle. And Tony's out close to the 40. So that's a 13-yard pickup there. Brett Bielema, a redshirt freshman from Prophetstown, Illinois, making the stop. The down 3, the big 3 guys in the middle for Iowa's defense, Rulin, Keppel, and Johnson, have again played very well today. 2nd down and 7. Michael Taylor. That's Chris Callaway for a 1st down at the 49-yard line. He caught it right on the sideline. With Callaway, when you're playing him, you've got to respect him. You've got to give him a little cushion. That pass was just too quickly delivered by Taylor.
Michigan has always had excellent skill at the wide positions, wide receiver positions. They just haven't thrown the ball much. With Gerbach playing this year, they've opened up more, and both Callaway and McMurtry are outstanding receivers.
On 1st down, it's Bowles, sidestepping 1 tackler, but the pursuit is very good, a pickup of 1 yard. And tomorrow, it's a day of international sports action on ABC. Live from Rome, we'll have international basketball. The Denver Nuggets in the McDonald's Open. That's at 2:30 Eastern Time. Then we come back to the States for live coverage of the Budweiser International Horse Race from the Laurel Course in Maryland. Top thoroughbreds running at 5 Eastern Time, 2 Pacific. International hoops and horses.
tomorrow on ABC Sports. Second down and 9. Taylor's pass to McMurtry, good. Out of bounds, 30-yard line, first down, Michigan. Caught it in front of Torque Cook.
That was an outstanding route by McMurtry, who came inside, tried to go to the middle, held hook to the inside, and Taylor, outstanding throw, put it right on the numbers.
Wolverines threatening one more time, but still, they've been down here knocking several times, but it's only a 9-6 ball game as Tony Bowles runs for 4. And they'll stop him at the 26 with Brad Quast and Jeff Keppel combining to bring him down.
Michigan wants to come out in the second half and try to establish that they have control of the game. They did that in the first drive of the second half, except for that mistake by Michael Taylor, thinking that he could get the ball in deep when actually the man was double covered and he shouldn't have thrown it. But the interception, how they got the ball back was something, an opportunity to make something happen.
Leroy Horde. Oh, he bounced right off. That is a good piece of running by Leroy Horde as he was stopped, bounced off, and got almost all the way to the 10-yard line. Rulon had a shot at him, but couldn't wrap his arms, and if you don't wrap Horde, he's gone.
Michigan has two outstanding running backs, Horde, number 33, and Bowles. Both linebackers slip through. He dodges away from him. He's not tackled, so he keeps going. But you talk to defensive coordinators who play Michigan and face Leroy Horde, and they like him better than probably any of the other running backs that Michigan had. They're really high on Horde.
First down, just inside the 11. This is Bowles. And Bowles is going to have about 5, just short of the 5. So Michigan definitely knocking on the door right now.
Both Bowles and Horde split the tailback position last year, although Bowles gained 100 yards or more in 7 different games. Leroy Horde is also an outstanding tailback who has been switched to fullback because of the injury to Jared Bunch.
Down here, they go to the wishbone, and it has more meaning with Taylor in there because he is a 4th running back, if you will. He keeps that one and dives ahead to the 2. So he belted it off to his fullback, Legette. Kept it and picked up almost 4 yards, 3 yards. So mark him just inside the 3. Now you get goal line folks going in for Iowa. Number 54 checks in. That's Rod Davis, the second nose guard, and Eddie Polly comes out, a free safety. So Hayden Fry, believing that Bo Schembechler will try to run the ball into the end zone. On 3rd down, sends in a goal line defense. Well, it was a good call by Fry. Tony Bowles ran right across on the angle to the left, and Bielema hit him head up and brought him down at the 2. Now it is 4th down for Michigan.
This is where you have to make a tough decision. If you kick a field goal, it puts you 6 points up.
Going for it. I think he just wants to gut check his team right here.
Well, if you're only 6 points up, obviously a touchdown extra point would put the other team ahead.
So the crowd immediately gets into it on 4th down. They can get a first down. This is Taylor running for the corner. Touchdown. So once again, Bo Schembechler's decision to start Michael Taylor at quarterback, giving him that 4th threat in the backfield out of that wishbone, pays off. A quarterback who can run.
Exactly right. This is a play Gerbach couldn't fake is going to be this way. The tight end is going to release, but this is the key man here. As the Taylor comes out, he can outrun the linebacker. It's an option run or throw. Good fake. Walker's out there if he needs him, and he outruns Blue for the touchdown.
Now the extra point. They've been hard to make today. Both teams having missed them. This time, Carlson gets it. 5:49 to go, third quarter, and Michigan takes the 10-point lead. Quarterback Michael Taylor, the senior, coming back today and doing a tremendous job.
Points up with a quarterback that can run, get outside the pocket, can really help.
16-6 the score now as Carlson kicks it off for Michigan, and this is Danon Hughes waiting at the 5 for Iowa. And Hughes comes up to the 23 where it'll be first down, and let's check in now with Jackaroo.
Well, Keith, as you know, this is only the second team in the Big Ten to use natural turf, and like Purdue, they've installed the athletic turf, the special turf that it was founded, prescription athletic turf, but this is the brain behind it. These are all the computers and the dials that run the pumps and the irrigation to keep the turf dry, even in the wet. It seems to have done quite well today.
It looks like that confounded thing that runs a sprinkler at my house that I can't figure out.
Who do you say invented that stuff? Who? Purdue. Was it Purdue? Purdue?
First down from the 23. Matt Rogers having a pretty good day. Young Matt delivers. Right on the numbers to number 2, Travis Watkins. Now, Travis Watkins is at a sprained foot. He's a senior from Claremont, California. He's a worker. He's not the fastest guy out there. He just keeps on moving. He watches where his quarterback is. He comes back to his quarterback. He's the man that caught the Iowa touchdown pass.
Hayden Fry says he's feisty. He says he's like a little alley fighter. He just keeps coming at you. Gets it done.
Measuring for the first down. That's short.
Hayden Fry has really not come out with any really off-the-wall type of formations or plays. Of course, he's expected to do that so much that I think by coming out and just playing it straight, sometimes he surprises the other team as much as running some gimmick plays.
Second down and a yard. And Nick Bell has the first down, getting up to the 36. And Hayden Fry, when questioned about the use of the grass, return to grass, said this.
I'll put it this way. At this time last season, we had
Jack,
8 major surgeries. We haven't had a single one this year. It's reduced our injuries down. We've gotten rid of all of the abrasions, everything associated with artificial turf.
That's positive statement if you're one of those believes in grass. Certainly a damning statement for those who want the turf. Matt Rogers unloaded it, got rid of it. That's going to be down, though. The pass was caught all right by Richard Bass. But when he caught it, his knee was on the ground, and it was Mike Evans who was climbing all over Matt Rogers. And when you got a guy who's 6'3", 250 pounds, and his eyes have already turned red, you do want to get rid of the ball, don't you?
Matt is expecting his offensive line to hold out a little bit too long. The receivers are covered downfield, and he just can't wait that long. The time before, he waited a long time, finally got rid of the ball, but he can't expect that much time when he's standing back there in the pocket.
Oh, here coming up the middle was Mike Peter. Puts a hard hit on the Iowa quarterback, but again, the ball is away. Intended for Peter Marciano.
Michigan's defense coming into the ball game had 19 sacks, and that's 3 more than they had all of last year. And of those 19 sacks, 14 of them were either by linebackers or defensive backs, and that tells you that Lloyd Carr, defensive coordinator, likes to send linebackers and defensive backs not in all-out blitzes, but in a situation where he feels like he has an advantage on that blitz.
Brian
Townsend, 45, is in there in relief of Alex Marshall. Here's a little delay, handoff to Nick Bell, the big tailback, the 255-pounder. And he gets taken down by Eric Anderson, who is a mere 235-pound linebacker. And when he took him down, he hurt him. Nick Bell is shaken up and remains down on the field.
This was probably one of the gimmick plays that Hayden Fry, inside handoff. Anderson, number 37, hits him right at his thigh.
I think they butted heads first. That may be where it is. He had that huge game against Wisconsin last week, but he's been pretty well controlled today.
I think it's just above his knee. It didn't look like it was knee, maybe his thigh area. It was just bruised thigh. That's Ed Crawley, the trainer, the longtime trainer for the Iowa Hawkeyes, 16 years. Taking him off.
The point is, he walked off.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Right.
4 minutes to go in the third quarter, and the Hawkeyes will have to punt it. Third punt of the day by Isaac. Doesn't get a lot of air under it, but there's fair length on it. Trip Welburn from the 18 up the middle he comes. Running north and south, and he comes all the way back to the 40-yard line. A 47-yard punt, a 21-yard return. In the Iowa country, that's pretty. We have Dave Burnson, our statistician, just pointed out, Bob, that Michigan has not punted in the game. And Iowa has no penalties in the game.
No penalty?
No penalties at 3:42 to play in the third quarter.
I think I'd rather not punt than have no penalties. Well, I think you could be turning it over too.
First down, ball at the 40 for Michigan. This is Leroy Horde. Well, that's why the opposing coaches sing his praises. You see that little quick juke, both feet moving, lateral movement so quick. Here's Jackaroo.
Keith, the story is not good on Nick Bell. He is out for the rest of the day. The report is that he twisted his right knee, and they're going to hold him out of the game.
Ready?
Bell had been doing well, catching the ball and running it.
On first down now, after that run by Leroy Horde at the 46-yard line of Iowa, here goes Tony Bowles, and he is taken down by Brad Quash. And he is taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Michigan puts a touchdown in the freezer here, and they may have the ball game.
Yeah. Look at the defensive line. That's Johnson, number 71. And Quash, number 35, gets in and makes the play.
The Wolverines in their possessions, turnover, score, turnover, score, turnover, score. It's been a day of peaks and valleys. Taylor back, setting up a screen. Bowles has it, man in front. He gets around the corner. Look out now. One man. Touchdown, Michigan. No flag. Anthony Wright, number 10, had a shot at him, but couldn't hold him. He got him on the goal line, but he tumbled in. And the Wolverines have scored again.
Just great running ability by Bowles. That was a effort play all the way. 45-yard touchdown on a screen play by Tony Bowles. And that really quiets the stadium. We talked about the noise and the fans here being a snake pit. It has not been that here in the second half when Michigan has scored these two touchdowns.
J.D. Carlson for the extra point. Good.
Let's go back and take a look. Number 42 on the right side is Tony Bowles. He's going to be the man that catches the ball, a little screen pass. Taylor sails it well, looks to his left, Sets up, then drops back. Makes a nice catch looking back into the sun. Now it's all Bowles as he breaks one tackle, eludes another there by Quas, can't catch him, and then cuts back and does a nice job of getting into the end zone.
Point good. 23-6, Michigan leads. They've scored 14 points in 3 minutes and 24 seconds.
Well, just a good call. They probably felt like if they get the ball in the hands of their speed backs, Bowles and Horde, that the screens might be there, and it's always a good play, especially against a team that's playing a zone coverage.
Carlson kicks off. Taken at the 2-yard line by Mike Saunders. Saunders takes a hard hit at the 25, but stays with it and gets it up to about the 28, where Otis Williams brought him down, number 17. Otis is sort of the hot man on that special teams, the kick coverage team for Michigan. You see that 17 showing up a lot.
They've got good special teams. The only time that the special teams has really let them down this year was in their first ball game against Notre Dame when Rocket Ismail ran back 2 touchdowns, 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns.
Both still kicking doors over there.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
Could very well be undefeated, could very well be ranked first in the nation. First down for the Hawkeyes from the 27, Matt Rogers back. Good protection, gets his pass off. It is good up near the midfield. 49-yard line for the Hawkeyes. Gain on the play, big one. Dana Hughes going up to get it, the wingback. Hughes is a redshirt freshman out of Bayonne, New Jersey. Number 3.
This is where Iowa now has to open things up, and you'll see what Hayden Fry has in his bag of tricks, and how well he throws when he's from behind, coming from behind. Pass, pass.
Dangerous. Tight end lets it go. That's Tiddley throwing. Travis Watkins can't get it. Back there defending Veda Murray. Murray is 6'3", 195. Travis Watkins, 6'1", 175. I think that 20 pounds showed up right there.
Well, that's just what we have been looking for from Fry. You get behind, and of course, Murray knows he's behind, knows he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, and is ready for this play.
Yeah, I asked Veda Murray about that last night.
Yeah.
I was going to wait and see.
Well, he knew, of course. He knew that all the tricks that Iowa comes up with.
Second. Rogers pass, good. Marciano got a foot in, first down at the 35-yard line, and that's a good catch for the little guy from Brockton, Mass. So they move the chains, and here's Jack.
You know it, Keith, you know it's homecoming, and I've had this mascot, Herky. You've seen him in Iowa before, but look at this, an alumni mascot. They bring Herky out of retirement. He's one of the alumni people that was a mascot here during his collegiate days. And the white beard, that's what signifies it. So now just hopefully I won't lay an egg here on the sidelines.
Let's hope not.
That doesn't produce much. Richard Bass carrying. Richard is 5'9" and 220. Blocky fellow. And he'll have a yard or two, maybe 3 by the time they finally put it down. I'm winding down the third quarter. Third quarter, Oregon State is leading UCLA. Bruins may be the collapse story of the season. Second down and 7. Rogers has a man on the sidelines, and the pass is good. It is caught by Watkins again, and he's down at the Michigan 18. Brought down, or fell out of bounds, actually. But Brian Townsend, who is playing in relief of Alex Marshall, put a lick on Rogers. So young Matt has taken some hits today.
4 receivers go straight down, and the Watkins at the bottom is just going to go down and out. It's a good read by Rogers. Looks deep first and then comes out to his outlet receiver, which is the out.
So the Hawkeyes trying to rebound here in the final seconds of the third quarter. They trail 23-6. And they'll spend a timeout. So going into the fourth quarter, they will have 2 timeouts remaining. Well, everything is big when you're playing conference games. You can't go anywhere and feel terribly secure about it because they don't like you from 1939. But
that man there knows that better than anybody.
Oh yes.
The record against Iowa. You know, to see him on the sideline, so he's ranting and raving. He's very competitive, but he also has a sensitive side, a very caring side. In fact, this last spring they had a gathering for him called 20 Years of Bowl. That's where 400 of his former players returned for a stag dinner that lasted into the early hours of the morning. There was toasting and roasting and lots of stories and memories, all in honor of that man right there. The longer you're out, the better friends you are with that man. He is really a player's coach.
All right, first down from the 18 for the Hawkeyes. And Rogers back. Ball is slapped down at the line of scrimmage. Number 94, T.J. Osmond, got his hand up and slapped it aside, and that stops your clock at 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. A Honda Scholar Athlete of the Week brought to you by American Honda, proud to support amateur athletics. The award this week goes to Joel Statt, sophomore linebacker, University of Minnesota. 13 solo tackles in their win last week over Northwestern. Honda presenting a check for $2,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of the University of Minnesota. Joel's major business, grade point, 4. Straight A. Rogers back on second down, gets the pass off, and can't hook up with Travis Watkins. So Rogers underthrew that ball, trying to get it to Watkins, because Travis could see where he had to go to get the first down, and Rogers didn't extend him that far. Let's pause 5 seconds right here for our local stations, or ABC station, to identify themselves.
This is WXYZ-TV, Channel 7, Detroit.
It is third down and 10 now.
This is an area where the Michigan defense really gets tough. It's less ground to cover. They're very aggressive. Sometimes they blitz. They're very good disguising defenses.
Rogers to the end zone. Good touchdown, Marciano.
They had just played a couple of different zones, so they're mixing it up. Linebackers are going to be blitzing in here. Marciano is here. They're going to be double covered in the end zone, but watch the play he makes in freeing himself up when the ball gets there. Take a look at the linebackers. A couple of them are blitzing. Man coverage in the secondary. Marciano starts to go across. The ball's thrown back. He sees it, comes back for the ball, and that is a big individual effort for Marciano and the Hawkeyes.
And they'll go for 2. Rogers, pitch back, Stewart, nothing doing. Down back at the 5. Brian Townsend and Trip Wellborn. But they do get the touchdown at 32 seconds to play in the third quarter. What it is, it's 2 young men from Massachusetts scoring a touchdown for Iowa against Michigan.
Rogers to Marciano. He releases to the inside. Key's got him inside. Murray has him to the across the middle. He sees the ball coming. He stops. Murray's problem is he lost sight of the football. Of course, he probably felt like he had pretty good coverage.
Well, David Key picked him up. Key's the corner on the boundary side of the field. Number 26, Key had him going into the end zone and then lost him too.
Well, he knew he had help to the inside,
Yeah.
so with Murray, but that man right there, Hayden Fry is very happy, but Matt Rogers pretty excited about that touchdown.
And Hayden is saying, see, I told you we could do it.
So the thing,
Go sick 'em.
they just need to have confidence. They know that there's another fourth quarter to play. They were down by quite a few points, but you know, he could still win this ball game.
Points, however, is an awkward number, isn't it? That'll be 2 touchdowns to take the lead. That's picked up by Howard. Desmond Howard's on his way. And comes back to the 35-yard line. First down for Michigan, Roger Twyberg.
Thank you very much, Keith. Emerging as the leading candidate for the Heisman Trophy is Anthony Townsend of Indiana. Today, 216 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, including his 16-yard run. He now has 58 for his career, 1 off the career mark of Glenn Davis and Tony Dorsett. 28-18 the final. Indiana wins it. Meanwhile, Notre Dame has scored. They trail Southern Cal by 3 in the 3rd. Now back to Keith Jackson.
Thompson carrying the ball in the wrong hand. 35-yard line, first down. This is Tony Bowles slipping away from 2 tacklers, and finally 3 of them get him as he wiggles his way up near the 42.
He almost got that ball knocked out of his hands.
He did. That ought to do it for the 3rd quarter. So with 1 period left to play. Well, there's that hot air balloon getting a little higher and higher. Better look out for the airplane pulling the car dealer banners. They'll be coming soon. Well, there's 3, 4 of them up there. All right, 2nd down for the Michigan Wolverines now, and 4. Michigan leading 23-12 as we have a mistake. Matt Elliott missed the snap count and took off, and that will cost them 5. So that procedure call, with no time having expired, will back them up.
Go to your left of your screen. That's Matt Elliott, number 69.
And they come in with a different play as McMurtry returns and Derek Alexander leaves for Michigan. The ball is resting at the 36, and it is 2nd down and 8. Michael Taylor. Pass good to Callaway. Chris shakes one and goes out of bounds at about the 37, 38-yard line. Eddie Polly on the defense, and that's a Michigan first down. Big play.
Here's a man here. The outside receiver is going to go straight down. He's just going to break to the outside. The man will be in the flat, and Taylor gets out here with all kinds of time to look downfield. A mobile quarterback allows you to have your receivers go a little bit deeper on their routes without having to ask your offensive lineman to block any longer.
Call it the Iowa 37. And Leroy Horde cuts in behind the right guard Elliott and the center Everett. And he moves it down to about the 31. Here's Jack Arute again.
Well, Keith Paul Marciano saw his son Peter score that touchdown for Iowa, but it seems like too little too late. I mean, are they going to be able to get back in this one?
Don't you dare count them out. Massachusetts connection is going to do it.
As we said, the Bay Staters are really performing well. Why did your son come here?
Well, he came here because it's a great school. He came down here. He loved the people. He loved the school, and we're going to do it yet. Don't count us out.
Well, we're not going to count him out.
Typical Marciano.
He'll slap you upside the head.
Never quit. Don't know the word quit. Nope. This is Bowles. And Bowles butting heads will have the first down for Michigan just inside the 25.
To look at the third quarter stats, and what you see Michigan doing now is taking over control on the ground. 168 yards through 3 quarters. Tony Bowles now up near 90 yards rushing on the day. The other thing that you note in there is the turnovers, each team having 3. We've had quite a few turnovers today, but Michigan getting their running game going. That's what they need now. Take some time off the clock and get some yardage running the ball.
Ford checks out. Legette in for Michigan. And Bowles carries. And as long as you let Michigan run the ball like this, they'll just keep doing it. They'll do it for a month. Brad Quast made the tackle on Bowles. Because when you're running the ball this way, you are controlling the ball. You have possession. You cannot hurt me because it is in my hand. And that's the way Bo Schembechler feels about things.
Their offense has really been a little bit anemic this year. They've had some injuries, as we've mentioned. The quarterback position, Bunch, the fullback, was hurt.
Ford is back in now after shaking off a ding in the leg. And Leroy has it, and the penalty flag goes down. May wipe out a big play by Horde. Going to bring it back. Somebody started too soon. You know what's happening? The Iowa defense getting tired.
Well, they're getting tired, and you're right. And you saw Horde there break a couple of tackles, and that Horde is tough to tackle and tough to bring down, but when your defense gets tired, it also happens. We're talking about the inefficiency of the Michigan offense this year with the injuries at quarterback and the bunch to fullback. Also in that offensive line, they've got a couple of young offensive linemen. Everett playing at center for the first time. Elliott, the right guard, a sophomore playing for the first time. And Skrepanek, the right tackle, also a young man and a sophomore. So it takes a little bit while to you know, you don't go anywhere if your offensive line doesn't lead you.
And they're not going to get Ramirez back at all, I don't think. Mark Ramirez. Second down and 12 for Michigan. Going to run that reverse with Desmond Howard, and look at Taylor throw the block. But it doesn't work for much. Jim Johnson was the man pursuing, and Johnson at 270, and Michael Taylor, the quarterback, picked him off.
Well, he did a smart thing, too. He waited until he got turned just enough so it wouldn't be a clipping. And then he just kind of nudged him.
Yeah, it wasn't a full collision.
He knew what he was doing. He knew how much he was biting off.
So it'll be third down and about 20 as the ball comes back to the 34-yard line. Hawkeye defense, even though they appear to be getting a little tired, are backing them up here. Taylor sets up and goes big with it. That's got to get a flag. Got to be a flag. Anthony Wright got tangled up with Chris Callaway, and it's going to be a first down for the Michigan Wolverines.
Well, he tripped. I don't know whether Wright tripped him intentionally or pushed him or grabbed him. There's a good look at it. He's going to beat him straight down the field. The jam's all right. Oh, he grabbed a hold of his shirt. Yeah, he grabbed him in his shirt. Now Wright holds his hand down by his side. Said, hey, not me, not me. That's a good call and good work by our camera crew. You hate to do that, Iowa, if you're an Iowa fan, because it was third down and long.
Yeah, third down and 20.
Yeah.
So that puts Michigan in business at the Iowa 19-yard line. And this is Legette. Not a lot. That's Quast, 35, loading up on Legette. Ooh, look at that, Earl Bruce. That's a big win for Colorado State in WAC against Hawaii. Big win. Will damage Hawaii's hopes. The Rainbow Warriors really had their mind set on the Aloha Bowl, playing in a bowl game at home, but that might hurt them. Second down and 7 for Michigan at the Iowa 16. This is Horde. And taken down by John Derby.
Number 33.
Eddie Polly there too. And that'll give them a first down and goal near the 6-yard line. First and goal, Michigan. Leading 23-12 and trying to bang it in again. And it's been pretty much Michigan here in the second half, except for that one possession that Iowa got a touchdown out of. Ford, oh, good play. Very, very good play by Brett Bielema, the freshman from Prophetstown, Illinois.
Well, if Iowa wants to stay in this game, their defense has to come up with some big plays right here and keep Michigan out of the end zone. Hayden Fry, 6'4" and 3 last year. That's the first time in 8 years that he didn't win 8 games or more.
Well, a couple of Boy Scouts here today, I understand. Citrus Bowl supposedly had somebody here, and so did the Freedom Bowl. Taylor, a little quarterback draw. Dancing up the middle, gets back to the 5. And it'll bring up third down, and one more tackle for Brad Quast. Boy, he's adding them up now, isn't he?
Well, he's an outstanding player. Not only is he the good tackler and like we met, a 4-year starter, but he also came into the ball game with 8 career interceptions. And that kind of tells you something about him, too. Not only can he tackle, but he also is intelligent enough to read patterns, pass patterns, normally the tight end that comes into his area in the middle of the field.
Third down and goal. Taylor gets it off, throws it away. You know what? Field goal here is just about as good as a touchdown.
Just any kind of points, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll make it 26-12, give Michigan a 14-point lead.
That's still something for Iowa to shoot at. 2 touchdowns in the last 9 minutes of the game. You got to stop Michigan. They haven't stopped them this half.
Nope. J.D. Carlson, 9 out of 9 in field goals this season. Ken Solom holds it. It's a 22-yard shot. That's good. And so your score is 14-point edge Michigan at 26-12. Surprises today. Down into that time of the season where people are starting to get banged up a little bit, and most college football teams are susceptible to injuries. You get the wrong injury in the wrong place at the wrong position. It'll cost you a ball.
You can't continue to go up each game. You're going to have some valleys, and you just hope that that you play well enough when you're down to win.
Yep. .8:58 to play in the game now as J.D. Carlson will kick it off. Hughes and Saunders. That's going to be a short high kick. And it'll be Hughes from the 11. Feeling his way across the 30 and to about the 33. think that hot air balloonist coming in over the new hospital here at the University of Iowa. It looks like he's headed for the stadium.
Just to know what's going on.
I hope he misses the train. From the 33, first down, Hawkeyes. They've got to do some scoring quickly now. They did respond after Michigan scored a while ago. Here's Matt Rogers, throws underneath. Good pass, good play. Hughes almost popping out of there with it. Gets up to the 49-yard line before Eric Anderson brings him down. But there's a degree of quickness about this Iowa football team that makes them dangerous.
Well, when you spread everybody out, so you have a chance to get a quick score.
The ball is resting at the 49 as you can read what has happened so far in the ballgame. A lot of mistakes in it. 26-12, Michigan leading. Rogers again, a quick drop.
Well, he held it long and then tried to pitch it forward like a shovel pass, and I think it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yep, they're going to let him get away with it. Michigan's arguing about it. John Milligan is there saying, who was the eligible receiver? Well, John probably has a very good point. But it was Chris Hutchinson that had a hold of it.
Rogers is just a sophomore, and as we said a little earlier, he sometimes holds the ball too long thinking he can make something happen. Get rid of it. He tried to shovel it backhanded forward to one of the backs that was in blocking.
So the loss is not a loss, but an incomplete pass. And look out here, because this play may come back. That's Tony Stewart with what would have been a first down, but there is a penalty flag, and it was thrown by the umpire, and that almost always means holding. And it does one more time. So the Hawkeyes waste a good play, waste the first down. They're getting to a point in this game at 8 minutes and 13 seconds to play, down by 14 points, where they can't afford to waste anything.
They need 2 scores, and you know, you're probably going to get the ball 2 times more. I doubt if you're going to get 3 unless you really stop Michigan. The way they were running the ball the last time, you're looking at 2 possessions at the most.
So it's now from the 39, second down at about 20. As Rogers rolls and buys time and hits his man on the numbers. That's again your Massachusetts connection. First down at the 40, it's Peter Marciano.
I think a quarterback who can get outside the pocket, Keith, is just so much dangerous. More dangerous than one that stands in the pocket. Marciano just goes, hooks to the inside. He was looking to the middle of the field initially, but Rogers gets outside the pocket, gives him a lot more time to throw. The offensive line don't have to block as well.
And it's first down Hawkeyes, Michigan 40. Straight back this time. He's got Stewart, but chooses the middle instead, and the pass. Did he catch it? Whoa, he took a wallop. That's Hughes. Hughes held on, and he was really nailed by Eric Anderson, but he held the ball.
There's Hughes at the top, number 3. Watch for 37. Anderson coming in from the left. That's a great reception, and you hold on to a ball like that. You know, oftentimes you see the ball being coughed up. Good catch by Hughes.
Another first down at the Michigan 27. Rogers, no good. Travis Watkins, and the key here was that David Key had fallen down.
Yeah.
If Rogers had seen that, and if Watkins had seen that, it might have been 6. Peter Marciano, who made that big catch a moment ago, coming into today's ball game, had 6 catches on the season. Today he has caught 6 for 93 yards. Second down and 10 on the Wolverine 26-yard line. That's an incomplete forward pass. unless the lineman caught it. T.J. Osmond coming right up the middle, belted Rogers, and I think Mike Devlin, the center, may have caught the ball.
He did. An offensive lineman did touch him.
That's what brought the flag. Yep. That's what happened.
It's tough for those offensive linemen when they see the ball coming to get away from it, but that's exactly what you have to do. Take a look at the pass protection here. As Rogers initially is in good shape. Then everybody leaves as Osmond, 94, comes free.
Illegal touching, loss of down.
And it's illegal touching by an offensive lineman.
Hit the center, number 60, Mike Devlin. He caught it. And, of course, that carries also a loss of down.
Well, that was more of a fumble, too, than a pass because the ball was just shaking loose. But illegal touching means they called it a pass, ruled a pass, and not a fumble.
So it is third down. And the ball comes back out to the 32-yard line. Rogers, tight end. 84, Titley, incomplete. He was between two defenders and couldn't reel it in. Pretty good defenders.
Well, it was covered well.
There's a penalty flag back up around the 35-36 against Iowa.
Would have been brought back anyway, but it was a throw was right there. It would have been a tough catch if he would have made it.
Holding the offense.
I'll tell you one thing, the officials are going to have to go home and wash their flags because they've used them today.
Number 65, Scott Davis, who was caught on that play. He was an outstanding discus and shot put thrower. In fact, he was the number 2 shot putter in the nation a couple of years ago coming out of high school.
Actually, Iowa went almost 3 quarters without a flag, and now they're piling up on them.
Some critical penalties here.
Third down and 25 now. The ball coming back to the 41-yard line. No chance. For just a moment it looked all right, and then suddenly Mike Evans broke loose again. Number 92, he's been tormenting Rogers all day.
They were disorganized from the start. Both Rogers and another player were at the sideline discussing strategy with Hayden Fry. Got out to the field late. They only had 12 seconds. Got in and out of the huddle. It was a rush-up thing, and it showed on the play. No cohesion.
So they'll punt it away. Low kick away from Welborn. Goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line. 38-yard punt, no return, 5:59 to play in the ball game. Michigan sitting on a 14-point lead. Just under 1 second under 6 minutes to play in the ball game. Will own the football just outside their own 15-yard line now. Michael Taylor started today. First time we've seen him since the opening game against Notre Dame.
And he's played well. Has really showed no signs of the soreness in his back or his arm that kept him out.
Leroy Horde will have a yard or so. Actually, it probably helped his shoulder and arm because coming out of the fall camp, he did have a sore shoulder.
Yeah, he did.
And,
little rest for him. Just a look at some of the assistants that have been with Bo Schembechler over the years that have gone on to lead other programs. Some pretty good names there.
Yeah, for a time it was Bear's boys. Bear had more. Woody had more. Then Frank Broyles had a whole bunch. Now Bo. Dominant. Quality beats quality, doesn't it? Second down and 9. Bowles trying to cut back. Tony had a knee go down. Yeah, that's right. Good call. He had a knee go down at the 16, and that's where they'll put the ball, and here's Jack.
Keith, what you're looking at is the latest in chapeaus in Iowa City. It's one that's commemorative of the Big Ten, the Roses, and, of course, Go Hawkeyes. And I want to let you guys know upstairs, I've got 2 waiting after the game for you guys, too.
Gee, thanks, Jack.
You can give mine to somebody down there if you want, Jack. I'm not interested.
How about Charity? I'm not sure that I didn't bring my spray can. The bugs had given it. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. And on 3rd down and 9, Michael Taylor throws underneath, short of the first down, complete to Derek Walker. Walker brought down about 3 yards short of the first down.
Trojans almost right there with Notre Dame in the 4th quarter.
No score. 17-14?
Yeah.
Michigan will punt for the first time today.
A lot of kickers wear different shoes. See it mostly on place kickers, not on punters. He likes the way that white one feels on his kicking leg. Where's the other one for footing?
Chris Stapleton. Well, that's not a very good kick, but it's going to look pretty good in the stats. Marciano picks it off at the 34 and comes back to the 45. The 44-yard punt, but it was an endo-ender on the rug, however. It might have gone much farther. But this is grass now at Iowa, and the Hawkeyes get the ball back in very good field position. The end of what has just been an absolutely gorgeous day in Iowa. The scoreboard shows we'll get them on the air today, it looks like. We've got 3:29 to play. Roger will bring you up to date on what's happened in college football. Right now, the Michigan Wolverines sitting on top of the Big Ten along with Illinois. Matt Rogers to Richard Bass. And Bass, number 23, works his way up across the midfield stripe. It's promo time, huh? They've scheduled game 3 for Tuesday. And unless something untoward happens between now and then, it appears they will resume the World Series at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to be seen here on ABC Sports.
Yeah, I just got to throw a bouquet Fay Vincent's way. I think he's handled that whole situation in very good taste. It's a tough situation.
Second down, and Matt Rogers gets his pass off underneath the coverage, and it should be, depending on the mark, a first down for Iowa. It will be, as the ball is marked near the 43-yard line. You know, your hackles always get up when you read somebody who writes on a assumption that there was pressure from ABC Sports to resume the World Series, and it's just a flat outright lie. There was no pressure. Never, ever from anybody. 35-yard line. The ball is moved by Tony Stewart, who's getting some playing time now. I guess the only way that Tony Stewart gets that leg and body back in shape is to play some, and that's what Hayden Fry's doing. Giving him some time. Matt Rogers goes to Stewart, and Tony will have another first down for the Hawkeyes as he moves it inside the 30. But the feeling about resuming the World Series and playing it, certainly playing it, if you're going to play it anywhere, you play it there. Because it is the property of the Bay Area.
Oh,
it
yeah.
has to be
no,
played
no, I
there.
thought all the decisions that he made were right on.
Yep.
You've got to play it there. The fans deserve to have it there.
Stewart again, and he's inside the 25 as we approach the 2-minute mark in the ball game. What it would appear now, Bob, that the next really challenging moment, so I'm certainly not going to say Indiana is not going to be a challenge for Michigan, even though the game's in Ann Arbor. The Wolverines now have played 2 tough ball games. They went up to East Lansing won a tough ball game. And the pass is caught by Stewart again. Then they've come down to Iowa City to play a tough ball game. Even though they lead by 14 points, it's still been a tough ball game.
Yes, it has.
And now they're going to go home. And you certainly aren't going to lean back in your rocking chair at home and say, oh, Hummer, Bill Mallory's bunch.
After they lost to Notre Dame in the first game of the year, we said that they could still come back and not only win the Big Ten title, as you see Hughes catching that out pattern, but also have a chance to compete for the national title. And as undefeated teams get knocked off week after week, Michigan moves up, and if they take care of business, they will have a chance at the end of the year to compete for number one. A national championship Jim Becker never has enjoyed over the 20 years he's coached at Michigan. Never has had a national champion.
Well, some of that's going to hang on what happens in South Bend between Southern California and Notre Dame. Southern California wins that really sets up what could be a championship game if those two do meet without further losses in the Rose Bowl. Tony Stewart carried there, and the Wolverines shut the door on him. Nothing doing, and down he goes. At the conclusion of the game, we'll announce the Chevrolet most valuable players from each team. The 19th year that Chevrolet has participated in the scholarship program. That's an incomplete forward pass. Once again, it's Mike Evans. Apparently, Evans had the sole responsibility today of making life miserable for Matt Rogers, and he's done it. Chevrolet donating $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of each of the universities.
Notre Dame going ahead of Southern Cal in the fourth quarter.
Penalty flag on that last play.
You know, Evans has had an
against the Hawkeyes. I'm sorry.
Evans has had an outstanding day. He's a backup defensive end.
Illegal motion, offense, repeat the down.
Backup defensive end for Michigan, and has had 2 sacks and several other close sacks and hurries in the ballgame.
You got 1 minute and 8 seconds, and I think the outcome of the game is academic. But it's still a learning time, and particularly for this Iowa team that is still coming together, and particularly for the young man, number 7. That pass thrown for Hughes is good. Hughes makes the catch, and he is taken down by number 22, Lance Dotton. Iowa going without a huddle. 3rd and 7, the ball on the 8. Ball slapped away by Veda Murray. He tried to touch it to the back of the end zone, looking at Hughes, and there were just too many people, and Murray went up and slapped it away.
There's about 6 people here. Take a look at it from ground level. Pass protection is pretty good. Rogers is going to let everybody get to the middle of the field. Takes a little off of it. Now, some people would call that a duck. See, now quarterbacks would say, I'm just trying to take a little off so it wouldn't get there so fast. I'll let my men get there. Give them a chance to get there.
Clock will go now on the snap of the ball. Todd Barry doing our spotting again today. Rogers hums it down the middle of the field, and there were 3 white shirts there, and there's no way in the world he's going to get that ball to Saunders, and Trip Welburn was the man that knocked it away. And so the Hawkeyes on 4th down, failing to hook up, will turn the ball over to the Michigan Wolverines, and that will do it. Iowa with 2 timeouts remaining, but with only 31 seconds remaining, it seems certainly academic. So we look forward to next week when we'll see you from Ann Arbor, Michigan with the Indiana Hoosiers against the same Michigan Wolverines. So Michael Taylor comes out for the snap for Michigan, and he'll sit down on the 4-yard line, and that starts your clock rolling. And now it's just a matter of reeling off the final half minute.
I thought Bo had a good line last year when they played to a 17-17 tie. He came to the center of the field, shook hands with Hayden Fry, and said very wryly, what a waste of time.
Yeah, but he didn't cover up the pink walls of the clubhouse. They remained as is. The game is over. The Michigan Wolverines have won it by a score of 26-12. The Chevrolet most valuable players in the ball game today are Michael Taylor for Michigan, 11 out of 15, 179 yards and 2 touchdowns. He ran 8 times for 30 yards and a touchdown. Coming back to the action. The quarterback for Iowa, Matt Rogers, 29 of 41 for 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had an interception. And so they march along toward the rest of the season. As we said, we'll see you next week. Indiana, Michigan from Ann Arbor, with second games of either Washington, UCLA, or Ohio State and Minnesota to follow.